वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we will start from chapter 5, text number 17. And last time, as we have discussed, one is the category of doers. When Jiva performs any activity in this material world, it's not that only he does that. Whatever action we do, they are not only done by us, not done by us from someone else. And who is that? That we have discussed last time. So the first doer is living being. Second doer is activities, or that most important thing that we have to understand. The material world or bodily activities that are conducted by material nature. Means what do you see around, or the modes of material nature, like Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Satoguna, they get the activities from us. And who sanction them? Drashta, Anumanta. He is the witness and he is sanctioner of our activity. So there are three doors through which activities happen. So now, sorry, we'll discuss further about how one can get out of that activities. That has explained in next 10 verses from from text number 17 to 26. One who in knowledge devotionally fixes his consciousness on the super soul really be poised in your future. How you can understand who is that person who is qualified to attain the liberation, that has explained in this next 10 verses. So we'll go one by one. Tadbuddhi tadatmanam tannishtastatparayanah gacchantya punaravritim jnana nirdhota kalmashaha. Intelligence, mind, faith, and refuse are all fixed in the Supreme. Then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. So who is that going to attain the liberation? First thing, tadatmanam nishta tatparayana. When one's intelligence, that is buddhi, atmana, mind, nishta, parayana means totally has focused on the Lord. That person who is cleansed or misgiving, jnana nirdhuta kalmasha, who has attained that knowledge, gachanti apunaravritim, that person attains the liberation in near future. So what is the qualification of that? He should engage his mind, his intelligence, his faith, and he should totally absorb in that. And who is free from or cleansed from all the misgivings. Because he has a knowledge, that's why he is out of all misgiving. Jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. Kshanti apunaravritti. That person attains the liberation. Prabhu, what do you think about this verse? One pointed. Knowledge acquiring, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, the senses through which we perform activities, all they are concentrated on one point, and that point is the lotus feet of the Lord. That person becomes qualified to attain liberation. In fact, he is liberated already. Because when you attain liberation, you have to engage in the Lord service. And once you are engaged already, then you are liberated. Here that they have used is very important. Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Means who is fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge. The person who has attained the complete knowledge, definitely he is freed from all misgivings. Misgiving means generally what happens, we consider ourselves as a body. Okay? So we try to fulfill bodily demands. Bodily demand means body wants to enjoy. But we are not the real enjoy. We can't enjoy anything in this material world. Just you sleep for a long. How long you can sleep? That is also enjoyment. No? 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours. More than that, they will put him into the hospital then. Huh? Then like a sex enjoyment. That is the best thing, that's the pivot. And everything runs around that. Everything in this material is running around that only. Why? Why they are earning money? 5 days they work like a hogs and dogs. And they just go for the utmost enjoyment. And what is that sex enjoyment? But really that gives you happiness. How much one can have it? Maybe twice, thrice, in 2 days or 1 day. Not like a pigeon who can have it more than 100 times a day. Are we able to do that? With that enjoyment is also not there with this body. Because this body is not meant for that. You can eat. Your liver capacity is 350 grams. You can't feel more than that. It comes, so you puke out there. That's what happens. When you drink too much, what is the real enjoyment then? For what this body is meant for? Huh? Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says. This body is meant for austerities. What is meant by austerity? Voluntarily accepting inconvenience to this body so that you can purify yourself. That is called as austerity. So you fast on particular days. Huh? You quit particular types of food voluntarily for the pleasure of their Lordship. Giving up misgiving means this is what? Giving up the idea for sense gratification. Keeping ourselves away from that. That's what misgiving is. Called as a misgiving. in the age of Akari, very prominent. Gambling, intoxication, any sort of intoxication. Because when you are intoxicated, you forget your identity. Already we are intoxicated, we consider ourselves as a body. And on top of that, if you drink marijuana or maybe alcohol, then you are lost. You are in ignorance totally. So intoxication, gambling, because gambling, what happens? Because of gambling, you lose truth, to cheat. Without that, you can't own in gambling. So if someone is bereft of truth, if someone is bereft of austerity, because intoxication, if you are intoxicated, you can't do any austerity. You can't live without that. As they get urge of drinking alcohol, they can't stop. Things they want, they go mad for that. Like any sort of a drug, that's what happens. Because that loses your capacity of performing austerity. Then meat eating meat. You are unnecessarily killing animals to just satisfy your tongue. Because meat is not your food. You are not meant to eat meat. Even biologically or medically also, if you check your body, it is not meant for digesting meat. Your body is not a carnivorous body. You have a long intestine, which is more than 22 times of your height. They are so long. You don't have a short intestine, actually, like other animals they have. Carnivorous animals, they don't have long intestines. They have only short intestines. Because that and the acid, amount of acid that present in their body, which easily decomposes the meat. Our body is not meant for that. Because we don't have that much of acid in our body which can digest the meat. And that's why that undigested meat becomes fat in the body. And people become like a balloons. And most important thing that you lose your mercy. So killing someone means you have to be merciless to kill that and then eat that on top of it. So you become merciless. And illicit sex. Illicit sex means having physical relationship with someone who is not married to you. Because that can be sanctity of your heart, sanctity of your body. You lose your purity because of it. So these are the misgivings. And when one gets rid of that, because if someone has a knowledge that things are creating problem for these things are creating problem to become me as a human being. Are you getting? So these are the things which are prominently called as a misgiving. And when you give up that one, then what happens? Automatically you become pious. If you don't have any illicit relationship, your heart is pure. You don't eat any sort of a meat. That means you become merciful automatically. You feel merciful to animals. That's why you don't want to kill them and eat them. So that mercy aspect has increased. You don't gamble. Means you don't have a cheating propensity. You like to follow the truth. And intoxication. Intoxication, if you don't have intoxication, means what happens? You are in knowledge. You are able to restrain your senses. That is austerity. So tapa, austerity, mercy, that is daya, and or compassion, huh? These are the proper things which helps you to make progress in spiritual life. So if you have this knowledge, give up the misgiving. Is that clear? Huh? Can we go further? Next one. So next verse, where Lord says that who is saintly person? How you can understand who is a knowledgeable, who has a real knowledge. And the terminology that they use for that person is here, Pandita. The Lord says here, Vidya Vinaya Samne Brahmane Gavihastina Shuni Shaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarashinaha. The humble sage, by virtue of the true knowledge, see with the equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmana, a cow, a dog, and a dog eater. The person who see all of them on equal level is called as a Pandit, Samadarshina or Pandit. The person who is in knowledge. What he sees them as a soul rather than the body. He never looked the outer coverings, but he looks at the soul who is residing in that body. We'll read this purport. Prabhupada says, a Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between species or caste. A Brahman and the outcast may be different from the social point of view. Or a dog, a cow, and elephant may be different from the point of view of a species. But these differences of a body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendental. This is due to their relationship to the Supreme. For the Supreme Lord, every portion as a Paramatma is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme, as far as the bodies are concerned in a different caste or a different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because he treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains himself as a Paramatma, regardless of the circumstances. Lord as a Paramatma is present both in the outcast and in the Brahmana. Although the body of a Brahmana and that of an outcast are not the same. The bodies are material productions of a different modes of material nature. But the soul and super soul within the body are all the same spiritual quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. For the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas the Paramatma is present in each and every body. A Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has an equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and the super soul are that they are both conscious, peaceful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the super soul is conscious of all bodies. The super soul is present in all bodies without distinction. So here the prominence has given to understand the individual soul who lives in each and every living entity's heart. and super soul who is with him in every living entity's heart. One person. In my body, I am there with the super soul. In your body, you are there with the super soul. What is common in all of us? A super soul who resides in all of us, within our heart. And that was has seen by the person who has a knowledge. Distinction. When he looks at the either dog eater, either Brahmana, or a priest class, or sees the elephant, what he sees super soul residing in him. And that's why he never makes any links between them. As per the caste system or Varnashma, one may think that somebody is Brahmana, somebody is Shudra. But who is Vaishnava or who is elevated in Krishna consciousness, he doesn't make any distinction. For him, Brahmana is also same, Shudra is also same. He looks at them as a soul, not the outer coverage or the outer divisions of social life. Are you able to follow it? We'll go to next. Yeva tairjitah sargo yesham samme sthitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthita. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity for the conditions of birth and death, they are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. Ihai tarjitaha sargo esham samme sthitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthita. Who is that person who is situated on that Brahman platform? Is that who sees everything on equal platform, as explained in previous verse. Because he has understanding that living entity, because of his karma, he resides in individual body. But along with him, there is a super soul. So all the living entities, they are always accompanied by the super soul, the Lord, in their heart. So there is no distinction. All are with their Lordship. Some are paying attention to the Lord, some are not. But ultimately, Lord resides in everyone's heart. And who understand that person attains that level of a Brahman. Samya, equanimity. Are you able to follow it? What I'm saying? Mentioned above is the sign of self-realization. If you understand yourself as a soul, automatically you will understand the other person is also soul, not the body. So you will see the people on the soul platform there, and that platform is called as a equanimity of a mind. Samya sthitam manaha. The Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. Similarly, when living entity is without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. So, what is the qualification to go back to kingdom of God? Is that you should be flawless. Because Lord, he himself is a flawless. So if you want to go and associate with him and in his abode, then you should be flawless. That's the prime qualification to go back home. Some are to be considered already liberated, and their symptoms are described below. So now in the next verse, explaining the symptoms of the liberated. What he says, न प्रहर्षेत प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत प्राप्य च प्रियं सम्मूढो Brahmavid Brahmani Sthita. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant. Intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, situated in the transcendent. The person who has attained the equanimity, when the situation comes that where he has to go mad with the happiness, when the situation arises that he should get a lot of agony and his mind should subjugate it with that suffering, he never bothers about that. That state of a mind is called as the liberation, because he never gets disturbed by anything in this world. And that is what the symptom of a liberated person. Why is it so? How he has this steady consciousness? It is said that Bahyasparasheshvastatma Vindatyatmani Yat Sukham Sabrahma Yoga Yuktatma Sukham Akshayam Ashute. A person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in a trance. Pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. Now, the real symptom of liberated person has explained that for material sense pleasure because he is in trance. And in the purport, Prabhupada, he quotes from one of the verse written by Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya was a great acharya from one of the Vaishnava Sampradaya, which is known as the Sri Sampradaya. And he has wrote down one nice verse with that. He says, Yadavadi mamache Krishna padavinde sadhamnya udyutam rantumasi tadavadi vatanari sangame sparyamane bhavati mukha vikara sushtunishtivanam cha. Since I have been engaged in transcendental loving service of Krishna, realizing ever new pleasure in him, whenever I think of a sex pleasure, I spit at the thought, and my lips curl with a distaste. A person in Brahma Yoga or Krishna consciousness is so absorbed in the loving service of the Lord that he loses his taste for material sense pleasure altogether. How you can understand a person is elevated in his spiritual life? How you can make it out whether that person is really advanced in it? Generally, you have attraction for the physical sense gratification. And the most important thing that attracts for men, beautiful woman, for women, handsome man. Why we distinguish this? Because we are on the bodily platform. He is in a trance. He looks at both the female body and male body not as a body. He looks at them as a soul, part and parcel of the Lord, who is individually residing in this body. So when you think about, they are the soul, but not the body. And they are not meant for enjoyment. If that understanding takes him away from the thought of enjoyment. You can enjoy body, but not the soul. Because he is totally different from that body. And whatever bodily enjoyment is there, it is only temporary, because through which you are enjoying, that media itself is a temporary. Having a strong and stout body, you may enjoy more sex life. But once you grow old, are you able to have the same? No. So the sense pleasure, which is depending on this body, is also temporary. Definitely. But the desire is there. If you read this translation properly of this particular verse, it is said that even at the time when you are engaged in the thoughts of the Lord, thoughts of sense gratification comes in your mind. Yadavadi mama Krishna cheta chitaha Krishna padaravinde. When I am realizing your new pleasure in the Lord's service, serving the service in the Lord's lotus feet, even that moment also you may get desire for sanctification. Engaged in that service, you may spit on that thought. You may spit on that thought. Oh, disgusting. You feel disgusted with that desire. Why? Because rasovarjam rasopyasya param drashta nivartate. You got the higher pleasure. And what is that higher pleasure? The real eternal bliss that you can get it by rendering service to the Lord. Attain that one, then automatically you won't care about that. Like when you are just old, your father comes up with a tricycle and he presents you that. In neighborhood, everyone you show that guy, that tricycle. Hey, see, my papa bought for me, my papa bought for me. Huh? But when you grow 18 years and again he brings one more tricycle, you will think, has it gone crazy? Huh? Why? Because now your taste has changed. You are the same person. 15 years back when you got that, you were so happy. It has grown. Your taste is also changed. And you got higher taste than that. So same way, once you attain that taste, you lose interest for the lower taste. Attended the spiritual bliss, then the bliss that you get in physical relationship with a woman or a man, sense gratification is nothing in front of that pleasure. This is the parameter through which you can understand whether that person is elevated in Krishna consciousness or he is subjected to material sense gratification. Is that clear? We'll go to the next word. Yahi samsparshja bhoga dukkha yona yayevate adhyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of miseries, which are due to the contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such a pleasure have a beginning and end, and so the wise man does not delight in. See, most of the pleasure that you get it from the material senses is through the material senses. And they are going to dwindle and die. They will get distracted. So the pleasure you are attaining from them has a beginning and end. And the person who is in knowledge, he will not run behind that because it has a beginning and it has end. So it may give pleasure for some time, but again, it will give me suffering if it goes away from me. So what happens? He wants to quit that. Are you getting it? Whatever pleasure you get through this senses has a beginning and has an end. And the person who knows that, he gives up that. Because he runs for the higher pleasure, which is eternal. रमन्ते योगिनो अनन्ते सत्यानन्द चिदात्मनि इति रामपदो नासो परम ब्रह्मा विधीयते. Unlimited transcendental pleasure from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. So when you get connected with the Rama, the pleasure and source of all the pleasure, abundance of the pleasure, that is the meaning of word Rama. So when you once get connected to him, you are connected with the source of pleasure. Are you able to get it? So, yes, exactly. Rama in Mahamantra represents the abundance of pleasure. Lord is the source of unlimited pleasure. And once you get connected with that pleasure, you are in connection with the pleasure. If the transformer is connected to the generator energy, automatically transformer will get charged. Same way, once you get connected with the source of a bliss, you will become blissful. And that bliss will be eternal. And that's why it says, Ramante Yogino Ante. Ananta means unlimited. Limits. Satyananda Chidatmani. He gets that ever blissful pleasure. Chida Atmani, which lasts for long. And then Prabhupada quotes from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 1, which explain the goal of this human life. Nayam deho deha bhajam loke kashtan kaman arhate vidbhujamye tapo divyam putra kayena satvam shuddhe yasmad brahma saukhyam. Is not meant for material sense gratification. It is meant to perform austerities and purify yourself so that you can attain the eternal bliss. The last line of this verse is that Brahma Saukhyam Tva Anantam, that unlimited Brahma Saukhya, you should, that the pleasure, heavenly pleasure, the pleasure that comes from the Lord, that you can enjoy in this body. This is not meant just for the arhati vidbhujame, as like live like an animal. The other pleasures, they're having sex, eating, sleeping, mating, all this can be derived in other form of life also. Just not made for that pleasure. It's meant for something higher. And what is that? Tapo divyam. Tapo divyam. To perform austerities and attain that Shuddha Sattva, purified platform, where you can enjoy the real bliss of life. And then further, Lord says in the 23rd verse, Yasodam prak sharira vimokshanan kama krododbhavam vegam sayukta sasuki naraha. See, in present situation, everyone is endeavoring to get happiness. We changing our dresses, we keep changing our jobs, we keep changing our location of staying, we keep changing so many things in our life to get happiness. Is that true? Whenever we change something, taking happiness in something else rather than what is there right now you are enjoying. But the person, before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the forces of desire and anger in happy in this world. Who can become happy in this world? When someone learns to tolerate urges of this sense. When we want change, mean definitely we are following the urge of senses. My sense want something. Now someone is drinking some sort of a beer or something. He is not happy with that, so he will go for the other. When he restricts, no, more. It's enough. I'm not following my senses now. Let senses follow me. When that attitude comes, then you will become happy. Otherwise, these unrestricted senses, they will drag you anywhere. Just imagine, if eyes, they got their own hands. Ears, if they got their own hands. If tongue got its own hand. Huh? What will happen to you? Because with eyes, you wanted to enjoy the things which is most beautiful thing that you wanted to see. Eyes will drag there. Same time, ear will drag you to what is there to hear about. The skin will drag you to touch some soft skin. Huh? And if that happens simultaneously, what will happen to you? You will be lost. You don't know how to go, where to go. You will get totally confused. Either you will go to the psychologist, or either you will go and just get boost. Huh? But the person who checks all the urges of the senses, if something is there attractive to eyes and eyes are dragging, you said, no, I'm not seeing it. Leave it. Close your eyes. Don't pay attention to that. This is what gives you peace. So in this world, as much as longings you have to enjoy the material world, you will suffer that much. And when you curtail that tendency, you will be peaceful at your heart. Just check it out. You must have experienced that sometime in your life. At some point, everyone has this realization. It's not that no one has. Sometimes to give up something into your mind. I met one boy today in college. He told me that he was in a relationship with someone and that relation broke up. He was not able to take it up. He got so much depressed. He was not able to do anything. So he went to psychologist. But psychologist was not able to understand that what really happening with this boy. What was his problem. He gave him some medication. Thing is there with the mind, and if you give some medication, will that work? Because medication is meant for the body, not for the mind, which is secular than this body. So what he needed a proper counseling. I just talked to him today, and he said, last 3 months I was suffering for this. And now I'm feeling like I got relieved from that suffering. Because the purpose of life was lost. I just told him that, what do you think? Your life is just work for that girl who was unfaithful to you? She was more important than your own soul. A tissue paper that anybody can use it and throw it away. You are something unlimited, because being a part and parcel of the Lord, you are infinitesimal potencies, more beautiful than this. What is of this? That thing struck him. He said, yeah, why? Let me give up the thought now. What I was thinking. He spent more than 1 hour for relief. Because this knowledge of yourself, which is very uncommon nowadays. People identify themselves as body, and whatever pleasures they get from the body, if they are not getting it, they think full situation body. But soul is totally different from the pleasure and pains of this body. He is always blissful. That's why he needs only bliss in the life. Seminaries or churches or prayer halls, sufferings in this world. No, everybody wants happiness because that is our eternal goal. When you realize that, automatically the sufferings of this world, they never had any value in your life. Chapter actually, there are another 6 verses. Yes, I will be not here for another 2-3 months then. So let me finish this whole chapter today. Huh? Is that okay? So text number 24. Yoanta sukondaram tathantara jyotireva sayogi brahmajavanam brahma bhutodi gacchati. Happiness is within, who is active and rejoice within, and whose aim is inward, actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and unlimited, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. So real joy lies within you. Nothing in the outside world can really give you pleasure than what pleasure you can give yourself. Are you agree with that? Huh? Nothing is there in the world which may give you suffering than what you can give yourself. Sometimes we are more self-destructive than anyone else destructive. In that? No one can harm us as much as we do ourselves. So same way, the real joy lies within our heart. The source of joy is Lord Himself, and He is there in your heart. And if you are disconnected with Him, who will give you pleasure then in this life? Is there a transformer from the generator? Is that transformer is going to get charged? No way. So keep connected. And we have a process to keep that connection. And that process is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare. Chanting of this holy name of Lord, that always keeps connecting you with the Lord. Lavante nirvanam rishaya kshina kalmashaha chinnadvaira yatatmana sarvabhuta hite rataha. And the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in this. Here, the further symptoms of the person who is liberated, who is a Kshina Kalpasha. Kshina Kalpasha means who has given up all sort of misgivings and sins. Chinnadvaidaha. And who has cut down all the dualities of. What are these dualities actually? Sorrows, prestige, defame. These are the dualities. Generally, we get disturbed. If someone Post that also, if there's a lot of pain also, he is disturbed. He is disturbed because of what? Someone may put him down. Even though he is on high position, but he is always scared of that may give me happiness or he may give me suffering. So if one is free from all these knowledge and yata atma within actually, his joy is not depend upon any external thing, it's upon within himself. That person is considered here as Brahma Nirvana. He has attained that liberation. Then further Lord says, Kamakrodha vimuktanam yatinam yatachetasam abhito brahmanirvan manam. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in very near future. See, who is free from anger, from who is self-realized, who knows that he is a soul, not body, who is self-disciplined and constantly endeavor for the, that person is going to attain the liberation. And Prabhupada quotes actually from a fourth canto, 22nd chapter, text number 39. Padapankaj Vilas Bhaktya Karmashayam Gratitam Granthayan Utgranti Santaha Tadvanna Riktamatayo Yatopi Ruddha Shrodashtam Aranam Bhajavasudevam. Just try to worship in devotional service Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Even great sages are not able to control the forces of the senses as effectively as those who are engaged in the transcendental bliss by serving the lotus feet of God. Grown desire for fruitive activities. Only the active devotional service will uproot the desires in the heart for sense gratification. Nothing else. Not the knowledge, not the karma, but it's your 100% dedicated service to the Lord will take away the desire for sense gratification. Exactly. Exactly. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchi. When you engage this service of the master of the senses, then they get subjugated, then they get controlled. Make sense? It's not me who is going to control the senses. It's the master of senses. He will do it when I am engaged in his service. He will have a control. Exactly. That's the thing only you can do it, not Lord. to surrender yourself, because Lord is not forcing anyone to surrender unto me. If you want, He can do it, but considering your little dependence, He is not forcing you for that. But if you desire to surrender, He will protect. Damn sure. 100% guarantee. Then the next two verses, they exactly mention who is liberated has explained. स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यश्चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवौ मानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमणो बुद्धिर्मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छा भयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between two eyebrows, suspending the inward and upward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind and senses and intelligence. The transcendentalist, aiming at vision, becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state certainly is liberated. Attainment of Ashtanga Yoga has explained. By practicing Ashtanga Yoga, a person can senses. Subtler than the senses is breath or breath. And if once someone able to control his inhale and exhaling of a breath, he can able to concentrate his mind on one point, and that makes him fear the world. And that person is considered liberated. And the last verse of this chapter, which is called as peace formula. If someone understands this truth, the eternal peace. And what is that? Bhoktaram yajnatapasam sarvalok maheshwaram surudham sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim drichyati. A person in full consciousness of who is the ultimate beneficiary of the all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and the well-wisher of all the living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. A conditioned souls within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world. But they do not know the formula for a peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this. Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because He is the proprietor of all planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than He. He is greater than the greatest of all the demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, 6th chapter, 7th verse, it is explained, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be Lord of it, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditioned soul are under the stringent rules of material nature. Usually, one understands this bare fact, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world either individually or collectively. This is the sense of a Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in the complete Krishna consciousness. This fifth chapter is the practical explanation of a Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. Mental speculation as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation. To work Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominant, not different from the transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Gyan Yoga is the path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in a full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute. This consciousness is full knowledge of a Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. A pure soul is the eternal servant of God as his fragmental part to pass. A pure soul is the eternal servant of a God as his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with the Maya illusion due to the desire to lord it over Maya, and that is the cause of his many suffering. As long as he is in a contact with the matter, he has to execute work in terms of a material necessity. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life, even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter. For it is a arousing of a spiritual existence by practice. The more one is advanced, the more he is free from clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial towards anyone. Else, on one's practical performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of the desire and anger. And one who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, mentioned passions, remains factually in the transcendental state of a Brahman Nirvana. The Eightfold Yoga is automatically practiced because the ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of elevation in the practice of Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. But these only preface perfection by devotional service, which alone can award peace to the human being. It is the highest purpose of life. Turn purport to the fifth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Karma Yoga or action in Krishna consciousness. So here what we can understand, this whole chapter, it explains about how one can render devotional service while performing his duties. Leads to devotional service. And how one can attain the real peace of connected with the Lord and understands that and accepts the predominance of the Lord, accepts Lord as the real enjoyer, not the self. Generally, what makes us suffer in this world is that when we consider that ourselves as enjoyer of everything that I survey. Misconception itself generates lots of misery. When you want to enjoy means you want to exploit that thing. To exploit that thing, you need to be a powerful. A weak person can't exploit anyone else. Only a powerful person. To beg, borrow, steal, any nonsense, any damn thing you want to do, you have to do it. So do you think that will give you peace? No ways. But rather than you think that it never belongs to me, why should I bother about it? It belongs to someone else. Let me go and give it to him. That giving will give you pleasure. Do you believe in that? The real pleasure is there when you give it to someone, something, rather than taking it something from someone. The satisfaction that you get by giving, that is more adorable and admirable than what you take it from others. Everyone has that experience. Why we give? Because it gives us pleasure. So when you give the right person, that gives you real peace. And that has explained in this chapter. So here we end this discussion on fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And when I will be back after 3 months, we'll continue with this chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is how we have finished the first 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And the 6th chapter will explain us about the ATTAIN. Okay? All right. Thank you for your participation. No? Gita